Welcome to another edition of the Master of the Mat. It's been a long time, but we're back. 1 second. All right, let me send this link out. One second, this phone is really getting on my nerves. Somebody go get their ass kicked. Somebody go get their weed split. Somebody go get their ass kicked. Somebody go get their weed split. Beat 'em up, break his neck. Break his neck, beat 'em up, break his neck, beat 'em up, break his neck, beat 'em up, break his neck, break his neck. Well, what they talking about? I see them running their mouth when they ain't talking loud. I'm taking over the game, now let me show you how. I'm taking over the game, now let me show you how. You know, SOS, I hear them shouting. SOS, I hear them crying. The calling SOS, I hear them calling. SOS, I hear them shouting. SOS, I hear them crying. SOS, I hear them calling. I'm a sad, you know, you know. You woke up in a bad man place, you know, see to the run for days, they can't get away. I bring bully for sorrow and pain, you should have never tried to my face. Little boy, and it's a shame, what a shame, you lose a life. You have no more time. Now, we put a little beast. I really hate this phone. Voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got tools in your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. Welcome to the return of the Master of the Mat, and we're going to talk about a little bit of everything. We're going to do a little bit of Triple Crown winners. We're going to talk about Mercedes money. We're going to talk about the rumors about Monday Night Raw tonight, about who may show up tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything in a short time. So we're going to get right into it. No, we're not going to get right into it because I need to make a statement to somebody that says something. So it was doing a live video yesterday, and somebody said that we stole something from them. We have never stole anything from the WFCW here in BCW. We'll make that crystal clear. Okay, the concept of doing a live show was it just happened. WFCW was off, so I decided, okay, and I've been wanting to do it before I moved into my own place. So we have never stolen anything from the WFCW. We have done things our way. Y'all took our U.S. Women's title. Right, that's the way I'm gonna leave it. Like it or not, don't really care. Anyway, the Triple Crown history and all wrestling companies. To be honest with you, AJ Styles and Kurt Angle are the only two TNA and WWE Triple Crown winners. Shawn Michaels was the very first Grand Slam winner in the WWE. Ric Flair is the only. I think Ric Flair and Bret Hart are the only two Triple Crown winners from WC and Booker T and Chris Benoit. I'll be honest with you. So the Triple Crown winners in professional wrestling, they Triple Crown winners in wrestling. Yeah, there we go. They go far and four and okay, so Kenny Omega is the first Triple Crown winner in AEW. Mikey Whipwreck is the first Triple Crown winner in ECW. AJ Styles is the first Triple Crown winner in TNA. In TNA, Jordan Grace is the first Triple Crown knockout winner in TNA. Okay. Ray Phoenix is the very first AAA Triple Crown winner. And he's the very first Lucha Underground Triple Crown winner. Naito is the first New Japan Triple Crown winner, even though everybody thinks it's Jay White, is actually Naito. I think Jay White is the first Grand Slam winner. Eddie Edwards is the first Ring of Honor Triple Crown winner. Ric Flair became the first man to win the Triple Crown. That can't be right. Oh, Ric Flair is the first WCW Triple Crown. Pedro Morales is the first WWE/WWF Triple Crown. There's been a lot of Triple Crown winners in the past. The Revival, the very first Triple Crown tag team winners, and I'm gonna get into what it means to be a Triple Crown and Grand Slam and stuff like that. Bayley is the first women's Triple Crown. Okay, Johnny Gargano is the very first NXT Triple Crown winner. Tyler Bates is the first and only Triple Crown in NXT UK. So let's get into what it means to be a Triple Crown winner. Okay, so basically what it means is you've held the world title, you've held the tag titles, and you've held the secondary championship. Back in the day, it was in WCW, since they had so many championships, it was either the TV title or the US title you held as a Triple Crown. I'm about to find that out right now because I don't want to misspeak. Give me 1 second. Oh, crap. Okay, well, we're going to go back to WCW. In ECW, Mikey Whipwreck, he was the first man to win the ECW World Championship, Tag Championship, and World Television Championship. He was in AEW. Kenny Omega is the first person to win the world title, world tag titles, and the world trios titles. Okay, I don't think that's okay, whatever. In TNA, AJ Styles was the very first man to win the at the time the NWA World Championship, the Tag Titles, and the X Division Championship. AJ is also a Grand Slam in TNA and WWE as well. He's a 5-time Triple Crown winner in TNA. Ray Phoenix, Jordan Grace was the very first TNA Women's Knockouts Triple Crown. She won the Knockouts World Title, Tag Title, and the Digital Media Championship, which is intergender right now. Don't understand why. Ray Phoenix won the Mega Championship in AAA, the World Title, and the Latino American Championship. Cannot believe that was a secondary title, but okay. He is also the very first Lucha Underground champion. He won the Lucha Underground World Title, Trios title, and he won the Gifts of God title. Naito is the very first Triple Crown winner in New Japan by winning the IWGP Heavyweight, Intercontinental, and Openweight Championship. Eddie Edwards is the very first Triple Crown winner in Ring of Honor, where he won the Ring of Honor World Title, Tag Title, and TV title. Okay, Ric Flair was the very first Triple Crown winner in WCW. He won the United States Tag and the World Title. Okay, there's a lot. 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, he won it all. Pedro Morales was the first person to win the Intercontinental, WWE, and WWE Tag titles. Johnny Gargano won the NXT. He won the NXT the Revival won the NXT Tag titles, the SmackDown and Raw Tag Team Championships. Bayley was the first woman to win the NXT Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship. Johnny Gargano was the first person to win the NXT North American Tag and NXT Championship, making him the Triple Crown winner. It's funny because right behind him is Adam Cole. There's a lot of guys on here who won Triple Crown championships. And there's a list of them. Sabu, he's a former World Television Tag Team and ECW champion. Taz, World Tag Team and Television champion. And TNA, there's a list. I'm going to just go down with a few. Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Abyss, Austin Aries, Chris Sabin, Eric Young, Eddie Edwards, and Josh Alexander, and Alex Shelley. Well, that's nice. Both members of the Machine Guns are Triple Crown in TNA. You got in Ring of Honor, or in New Japan, Naito, Evo, Kota Ibushi, the Reign General Haruso, whatever, I can't pronounce his doggone name, Jay White. All these guys are Triple Crown winners in New Japan. In Ring of Honor, you have Eddie Edwards, Roger Strong, Jay Lethal, Christopher Daniels, Matt Taven. Taven's on that list? Huh. Can't stand him. Jonathan Gresham, Samoa Joe, Adam Cole. Adam Cole just got added to that list last year. In WCW, you got Ric Flair, Lex Luger, Sting, DDP, Goldberg, Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, Scott Steiner, Booker T. And WWE, the list of Triple Crown winners is a crying shame, but we're going to get them. Pedro Morales, Bret Hart, Diesel, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Kane, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Ric Flair, Edge, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, Booker T, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, JBL, Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler, Christian, Big Show, The Miz, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and remember the Shield, Kofi Kingston, Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, and Big E are all classified as Triple Crown winners in the WWE. As far as the Triple Crown tag team in WWE, you have the Revival, aka FTR, the Street Profits, and the New Day. The women's Triple Crown, you got Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Oscar, Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, Ronda Rousey. Good grief. The NXT Triple Crown, Johnny Gargano, and Adam Cole. The UK Triple Crown was just Tyler Bates. He was the first and only. It has been a lot of guys who can lay claim that they are Triple Crown winner. Now, the Grand Slam champion is something that not a lot of guys can say they stay claim to. The very first Grand Slam winner in the WWF was Shawn Michaels. That means Shawn won the tag team, European, Intercontinental, and the WWE Championship. The second was Triple H. Did the same thing Shawn Michaels did. I think there has not been a Grand Slam winner. I know it. Well, I'm looking. The first Grand Slam winner for the women's is Bayley. Bayley won the Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and the Women's Tag Team Championships. AJ Styles is the first. He was the first of everything, wasn't he? Good grief. AJ Styles is the first TNA Grand Slam winner. He won the TNA. He won the NWA, NWA World Title, TNA World Title, NWA Tag Titles, TNA Tag Titles, the X Division title, the Legends title, Global TV, King of the Mountain title. He won them all, making him the very first man to want to become the Grand Slam in TNA. Christopher Daniels, he Ring of Honor World, Ring of Honor Tag, Ring of Honor Television, and Ring of Honor six-man tag team champion. Taven's also on that list. That's why I can't stand him. That's why I can't stand Matt Taven. I don't like him at all. Him or Mike Bennett. But I'm just saying, these guys have held the Ring of Honor. These guys are all Triple Crown, Triple Threat, Triple Crown Grand Slam winners. Eric Young, Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, Abyss. I said AJ Styles. In WWE, you got for the ladies, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is the ultimate Grand Slam winner because Rhea Ripley has held every stinking women's title there is to hold. And I mean every one of them. She was the very first NXT UK Women's Champion. She was the NXT Women's Champion, the Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, Women's Tag Team Champion. She have held all 5 women's titles, all 6 women's championships. So Rhea Ripley is the ultimate women's champion. She's done something that Charlotte, Bayley, and has not done. She held every stinking women's championship. Okay, I'm just saying like that. She's held it all, and it's just. And then you go about Grand Slam, the new era. Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy. Here's another guy who's held every stinking WWE title there is. He was the lightweight champion. He was the hardcore champion. He was tag team champions. He was the world tag champion. He was the Raw tag champion. He was the SmackDown tag champion. And I said lightweight, hardcore. He was the Intercontinental champ multiple times. A WWE champion, 2-time world heavyweight champion. This guy has held every stinking title in the WWE. And the only belt Jeff has not held is the Universal Championship. And you got guys like Kurt Angle who along with AJ Styles can lay claim that they are the only 2 guys to be Triple Crown in TNA and WWE, Grand Slam winners in TNA and WWE. So Ric Flair, Bret Hart, Booker T, Chris Benoit,
are the only 4 WCW guys that can say they were Grand Triple Crown winners in WCW and WWE. Booker T's a Grand Slam winner in WWE. Okay, and that says a lot. I think, yeah. So you look at the dot graph of Triple Crown, Triple Grand Slam. It's a lot of guys who earned that opportunity, a lot of guys who deserve that opportunity, a lot of guys I think the company just pushed because they had nothing else better for them. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I honestly believe the WWE gave JBL the WWE Championship because Eddie Guerrero missed one live show. That's just my opinion. Bradshaw was one heck of a tag team champion. Him and Ron Simmons as APA when Ron was known as Farouk, them guys they didn't care who they beat up. They like beat people up. I mean, especially they if you paid them, they beat people up. They had a commercial to advertise on Raw, APA protection. We need beer money. When you pay them, they beat the crap out you. They protect you from the matchup. They almost cost Triple H the WWE Championship against Tonka. They they beat the crap out of the Mean Street Posse. I think they love doing that though. That's just my personal opinion. I think they love beating the crap out of the Mean Street Posse. Okay, who can forget that Sunday Night Heat matchup, but they would never put on air again against Public Enemy? That wasn't a match. That was a fight. You think I'm lying? Go to YouTube. Well, stay on YouTube and type in Acolytes versus Public Enemy. The Acolytes beat the holy crap out of Public Enemy. That was Public Enemy's last match in WWE. I mean, it's just it is what it is. Ron Simmons will forever go down as the first Black World Heavyweight Champion when he beat Vader in Baltimore. He had a heck of a reign as world champion, and I didn't like the way they did him. It's just the fact that the way they did Ron Simmons was just sad. You didn't have this man go up against any top tier guys. You had against bottom tier, and I mean bottom tier. Don't get me wrong. Dr. Death was a big deal in the UWF. Cactus Jack was just coming up. He wouldn't be a big deal until he go to WWE, WWF. But to put him against guys like Barbarian, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Cactus Jack, Steve Austin, who wouldn't get his big break until he go to WWE. Yes, Steve Austin was a semi-made guy in WCW as Stunning Steve Austin, but he wouldn't become big until WWE. And that's just my opinion. Everybody else has their own opinion. Steve Austin, yes, he had one heck of a reign as TV champion. Both of those reigns. He had a heck of a reign as U.S. champion. The second reign, not so well. He had that belt for 5 minutes. Him and Brian Pillman, the Hollywood Blondes, those guys were cocky. And what I loved about the way they did the Hollywood Blondes, their rivalry against the Four Horsemen. They went out there, they were called Flair and Arn Anderson dinosaurs, and they will go out there and prove that they're better than Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. But what made that rivalry special was the fact that Ric Flair and Arn Anderson went out there and they did what nobody else thought they could do. They hung with the young guys. And that was a Clash of Champions. It went to a draw. It was an awesome matchup. It showed Pillman's ability. It showed Austin's ability. It showed Ric Flair. It showed why Flair and Anderson are perhaps the two best in the world. So it was Austin didn't get his real big push until he went to WWE. They tried a lot of different names. What that the ringmaster, it that rivalry with Savio Vega is what put Stone Cold over. That's what put Stone Cold over. After he lost that rivalry, that Caribbean strap match at In Your House, Beware Dogs, they didn't know what to do with Stone Cold. So they wanted a different name with him. And his wife at the time said, your tea getting cold. So your tea gonna get Stone Cold. That's where the name came from, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone, and the rest is history. Stone Cold, he was wrestling mainly on free for all. Then he got hot. Then he started wrestling on a live show. Him and Shawn Michaels was not supposed to be tag team champions, but they ended up being tag team champions. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a backstory on that real quick. It was a Monday Night Raw. Shawn and Austin were wrestling the British Bulldog and Owen Hart for the tag team championships. Austin and Michaels could not stand each other. A lot of guys couldn't stand Shawn Michaels back in the day. He was a pure prick. He admits it. He was a prick. But Austin couldn't stand him. Shawn couldn't stand Austin. So Bulldog, who was on the verge, who was a European champion, him and Owen was on his dominant run as tag team champion over 200 days. Yeah, over 200 days. They about to hit 300. So they set the match up, Austin and Michaels against Bulldog and Owen for the tag team titles. To this day, nobody knows what finisher won the match. Was it the stunner or was it Sweet Chin Music? Because referee counted both of them down. Now, Shawn Michaels is the only man in history to run through the Hart Foundation like salt through a wooden woman. He beat Owen. He beat Bulldog. He beat Neidhart. He beat Pillman. He beat Brett. So it was the fact that Shawn ran through the Hart Foundation. I may get backlash from this later. I thought Shawn was better than Brett anyway because I still do today. Shawn was always better than Brett. When they had the matches, Shawn would outshine Brett until Brett would get tired of it. And that Shawn was involved in the first ladder match with Bret Hart on Coliseum Video. He lost it, but still. He was involved in the very first mainstream ladder match, which he lost against Razor Ramon. That's the match Ric Flair said for almost 60 minutes. Shawn Michaels winning the match and had a 60-minute match with a ladder, and it just so happens another guy was in the match. Flair's words, not mine. So him and his, you look at the career of Shawn and Brett, it's totally different. It's very totally different. Bret Hart was trained in Calgary. Shawn Michaels was trained by superstar Jose Lothario. Shawn and Brett both started off as the Rockers. And who can ever forget the fact that the main event where it was a Saturday night main event, the rope broke. The Rockers finally won the tag team titles. It didn't happen because the rope broke and they couldn't air it on TV. That was supposed to be Shawn and Marty's big break as a tag team. They won the tag team titles. It was 2 out of 3 falls. The Rockers won the match, but it was never official. Never official. Order the Saturday night main event DVD. You'll see that match on that DVD. It's Shawn versus, it was the Rockers versus the Hart Foundation, 2 out of 3 falls. The rope broke, and the Hart Foundation lost, but the match was never given to the Rockers. Shawn Michaels didn't win his first tag team title until he won with Diesel when they defeated the Head Shrinkers on a live event. Jannetty didn't win his first tag team titles until him and 1, 2, 3 Kid beat the Quebecers on Monday Night Raw. So it never happened. So Shawn said, okay, I'm going to go win a singles title. He had a classic matchup on Saturday main event with the British Bulldog, winning the Intercontinental Championship. He will go on to hold that title for 200-something days before dropping it to Marty Jannetty, before regaining it back 2 weeks later. He had a heck of a rivalry with Mr. Perfect for that title. He had a heck of a rivalry with Crush for that title. He had a heck of a rivalry with Razor Ramon for that title. And Shawn had a heck of a rivalry with everybody. His rivalry with Jeff Jarrett stands out. That was good. His rivalry with Bret Hart always going to stand out. His rivalry with Diesel stands out. The rivalry he had with Stone Cold stands out. When he came back after his sabbatical and he had that rivalry with Triple H, that stands out. Because who can ever forget the Royal Rumble 03, last man standing, Shawn and Triple H? That was a bloodbath. And they beat the brakes off each other. You hit me? I'm telling you, it was like watching it's like watching a UFC fight, and they just going ham on each other. They're throwing bombs at each other. Shawn and Triple H beat the crap out of each other. And who can ever forget his WrestleMania 25 classic matchup with The Undertaker? It was something to be talked about. That match was awesome. Neither man wanted to give up. Triple H always says this every time he talks about that matchup. He was like, "Yeah, I remember that match. I had to follow that match." He did. Him and Randy had to follow that match. I looked at Randy. Randy looked at me, and both of us said, "Oh crap, that's great. We got to follow this." They did a good job. I mean, it wasn't nothing on Shawn and Taker, but they did a good job. And just saying, Shawn Michaels get in the ring and make a. I've heard Jim Ross say this a lot of time by Shawn Michaels. You can put Shawn Michaels in a match with a broomstick, and the broomstick, and Shawn will make that broomstick look like $1 million. Just saying, it's just how it is. Shawn is simply, in my opinion, the greatest of all time. That's why he's a 2-time Hall of Famer. That's why he is perhaps, and there's no perhaps, in my opinion, he is the best there ever will be. There is no an in-ring competitor. Shawn Michaels is the best. If he comes out of retirement today or tomorrow, there's not one person on this roster that can hang with Shawn Michaels. Not one person. Not one guy can hang with Shawn Michaels. Not one person can hang in that ring with HBK. I don't care if you're The Undertaker. I don't care if you're Bret Hart. I don't care if you're Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't care if you're Brock Lesnar. I don't care if you're Gunther. I don't care who you are in this era, in this time. Can't nobody hang. If Shawn Michaels would have come out of retirement today or tomorrow, not one person can hang with Shawn Michaels. Not one. And I'm the biggest Shawn Michaels fan alive. There's not one wrestler that can hang with Shawn Michaels. His stamina is unheard of. Go back and watch some of his matches, the matches he had with Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19. The match he had with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, but no, 21 was Kurt Angle, 19 was Jericho. Go back and watch that. Go back and watch the triple threat match at WrestleMania 20 with him, Benoit, and Triple H. Go watch him and Vince at 23. Go watch him and Flair at 24. Shawn has had some awesome matches. Vince and Shawn at 22. That Shawn went back to his old ways in that one. You want to go further back? Go watch WrestleMania 10. Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon in that ladder match. And you want to go further than that? Go to WrestleMania 11. Watch Shawn and Diesel. Watch Shawn carry a 7-foot monster. When I mean carry him, watch Shawn carry him through that whole match. Then watch WrestleMania 12, how Bret and Shawn leaned on each other to make that match what it was. He missed WrestleMania 13 because of a knee injury. WrestleMania 14, even though his back was messed up, Shawn lasted 45, probably close to 45 minutes with Steve Austin before dropping the title. I'm just saying, I stand on it. I don't care who likes it. In this era we're in right now, this wrestling era, you got some of the greats. You got Gunther, you got LA Knight, AJ Styles, you got Roman Reigns, you got Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, you got crap. Since The Rock is back, The Rock, we may get if Shawn come out of retirement, we may get The Rock and Shawn Michaels, a match we never got. But I'm just saying, Shawn can outwork Roman. He can outwork Seth. He can outwork Gunther. He can outwork LA Knight. He can outwork AJ Styles. He can outwork Cody Rhodes. He can outwork anybody you put Shawn in the ring with. You watch a Shawn Michaels match, you can't help but be amazed. They put Shawn Michaels in the ring at WrestleMania, I want to say, WrestleMania 9, him and Tito Santana, the Matador at the time. Shawn and Tito is perhaps one of the greatest in-ring performers of all times. Shawn hung with Tito Santana. My opinion, I stand on it. People may not like me for saying this. Shawn Michaels, the greatest of all time. There's no one. I don't care if your name is Triple H. I don't care if your name is The Undertaker. I don't care if your name is Stone Cold. I don't care if your name is The Rock. Shawn Michaels is head and shoulders better than any of them. Any of them. It's like a art. It's like an art form for Michaels. You put Michaels in a ring with anybody, and Michaels can turn that into a masterpiece. There's no one, in my opinion, there's no one that can outshine Shawn Michaels in big match scenarios. I don't agree with what Ric Flair said with him and Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 10. Shawn went out there and had a match with a ladder. It just so happens that another guy being in that match. I don't agree with that. I will say this: Shawn Michaels went out there and had him and Razor Ramon put on a match at WrestleMania 10 that we're still talking about today. Just like WrestleMania 3, when Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage went out there and had their classic and made Hogan and Andre step their game up. They're still talking about Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage to this day, and that was at the Pontiac Silverdome, the largest WrestleMania of all time, 93,000. No, you don't hear nobody talk about no other Intercontinental title match but Steamboat and Savage. Why? Because that match is a masterpiece. It's a simple masterpiece. Steamboat and Randy Savage went out there and they created art. They did it all. They created the greatest Intercontinental title match of all time. Yes, I know Warrior and Rude had a match 2 years after that. Yeah, I know all of that. But in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, the greatest Intercontinental title match of all time, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Macho Man Randy Savage, Pontiac Silverdome, WrestleMania 3. Because there is nobody that can stand close to that. There ain't no other IC title match that can stand close to that match. Now, I don't care what nobody says. You cannot tell me the only other match that can hold water to that is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Stunning Steve Austin, Clash of Champions for the United States Championship. That's the only match that can stand close to that because Steamboat and Austin went out there and created magic. And I'm a big WCW fan, but some of them WCW matches back then, when before Eric Bischoff took over, was barely watchable. But that match wasn't. That match was something to behold. And I'm a diehard wrestling fan. And yes, I still watch it on Peacock. Okay, I put on old wrestling to go to sleep and let it keep going and going. I've been doing that for years. This is what I'm saying. This is why I this Master of the Map was created, just to come out here and express my passion for wrestling. That's why I'm a huge wrestling fan. I got championship belts. I got the US title, the Intercontinental title, the NXT championship, the WWE championship. I got to get my NWA title refurbished. I just love something about wrestling. I love. Raw about to start in 1 hour. I just love creating things like with BCW. Okay, we supposed to have a show Sunday night. We didn't have it. We're gonna have a show tomorrow night. Okay, but it's just something about creating your own platform and having them go out there and just go for it. Creating championships, creating matches that people are going to enjoy to watch. Yes, it's a video game, and yes, you got to be in character. You got to be in character. You can't be the same person. If people can't take your character, then you're doing something right. If people don't like if people want to come at you, then you're doing something right because they're attacking you. They're attacking your character because you must be doing something right. It's wrestling, man. It's just for me. It's wrestling. For me to put together something, and then people, you got the haters out there. They're gonna talk about something. I stole the platform. I ain't steal nothing. I wanted to do it before I got my own place, but I couldn't do it because where I was living, I was too noisy. So then when I moved in here, my schedule was was not even prohibited to do anything. So I just decided to do it. My schedule got light. It loosened up a little bit, as they say. My schedule loosened up. I had enough time to do it. Okay. I'm in church on Saturdays now, and I can do it on Saturdays. I can do it on Sundays. I can do it Saturday evening, or I can do it Sunday. I can do it Sunday afternoon, or whatever. But to say I stole something from another, to say I stole something, I ain't steal nothing. I had the idea well before WFCW put together. I just didn't go with it. I had too much of the stuff going on in my life to focus on that. Now that I got things in my life where I want it to be, and I'm not gonna change it for nobody, I'm just doing it. I am in a good place. I'm not complaining. I'm enjoying where I'm at. I'm not gonna let nobody disturb my peace. I'll cut you off before you disturb my peace. Okay. I'm just this is a hobby. Master of the Mat is just something I love to do. I love to talk about old wrestling. I love to talk about wrestling, period. This is just something I love to do. Ain't nothing happened. I just love to talk about wrestling. Just love to talk about this and that, and just the fact that this is what I love doing. And this has been a passion of mine since I got hooked on wrestling at the age of 7. 7 years old, I've been watching from 7 years old, and I'm almost 40, and I'm still watching wrestling. And I still get excited over wrestling. The last wrestling show I went to was in December, and I thought they was gonna put me out because I was hazing. I'm shameless, but they didn't put us out. They let us haze them. So I mean, it was at the Capital One Arena. It was just me and my sister. It was a December show, and I was hazing the crap out of Sheamus. And I told him, take those stupid suspenders off. Maybe you'll win. The security guard was, you would think the security guard would have said something, but the security guard was laughing at me. Toy was there, she'll tell you. The security guard was laughing at me. Both of them. They had one security guard there, and then both of them was laughing at me because I was harassing Sheamus. I'm just, it was just, we went to the Monday Night Raw, and they were chanting Bullet Club, and I started that chant. Okay, I'll be the first one to tell you. I started that chant. We was chanting Bullet Club, and everybody was like, "What is Bullet Club?" You better see the members of Bullet Club. Soon we started chanting Bullet Club, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows came out, and at that time, Gallows was calling people nerds. So, and they was trying to, the WWE at that time was trying to get the license for Bullet Club. They couldn't get it. So that's why they went with the club. And it's just, you look at it now, it's like the OC, then you got the OC, then it went to the OC, the only club that matters, the original club that matters. It is what it is. Okay, and it's just fun. I mean, going to a live event, Capital. I was at Capital Punishment when R2 fought John Cena. I was there, and I was down on the floor because I went with a couple of people from my church. I went with my pastor, his grandson, and his son. And I was on the floor. They was on the floor. They was on the other side of me. I was down by the entranceway. I think they was behind the ring. And when R2 came out and did his little stint, the guy that do the drink on Truth was on the other side of the ring. I was like, man, if that was over here, they would have saw me on TV. I would have been goosed up. That you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't have told me nothing. I was so happy just to be there. I've been to numerous wrestling shows, Capital Punishment, Cyber Sunday. I was there to see Batista and Undertaker. and you ain't seen an interest until you seen the Undertaker's interest live. And I mean, that is the most spectacular interest you can ever see in your life. That interest alone is worth the price of admission. I was at the SmackDown when he fought Khali in DC, and when he came out, man, there was not one person in their seat, man. I was so hyped up. I was like, yo, I had my phone out. I was recording. I recorded the interest from the beginning all the way till he got in the ring. That's how hyped I was about that match. Then when Batista came out, and you think about it, Batista's from DC. They booed Batista because they cheered The Undertaker. They were cheering the whole time. The cheers for Taker overtook the cheers for Batista. And that was at Cyber Sunday. Then when he fought the great Khali in the last man standing match on SmackDown, man, I was so hyped for that. I'm going to tell you what my seat was. For Cyber Sunday, I was on the top row because they ran out the bottom seat. But for that SmackDown, I was right there. And when I mean right there, I was right there when he come that middle part right before he gets to the ring. That's where I was sitting at. And I stood on top of my seat to record his interest coming all the way down the ramp. That's how hyped that was. I'm a grown man, and I'm hyped up by the Undertaker's interest because I love wrestling. Okay? I love this, man. I'm telling you, I'm hyped up. It's his WrestleMania season. I'm excited. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. I'm so happy that Paul Heyman's going to Hall of Fame. Thunderbolt Patterson's going to Hall of Fame. The U.S. Express is going to Hall of Fame. Muhammad Ali going to Hall of Fame, even though he didn't step foot in one WWF ring, but he's going to Hall of Fame. I'm so hyped up for the WrestleMania season. I'm hyped up because it's going to be an all-out brawl. My goal is to get to a WrestleMania. I've been to, let's see, what pay-per-view? I've been to Capital Punishment. I've been to Cyber Sunday. I've been to a SmackDown. I've been to a Raw. I've been to ECW, and that was crazy in its own right. To be at an ECW show, and I'm a huge ECW fan. Again, if anybody knows my sister, know I'm a huge ECW fan, and I'm talking about the original ECW. But to be at the ECW show and to see Paul Heyman come out, I wish I had my old phone. I took a picture. I zoomed in. I took a picture of Heyman. I took a picture of the Big Show, of RVD, Sabu, even when Taz came out. That's how much fans I was, because wrestling always took me away from my problems. No matter what I was going through, I put wrestling on. I didn't think about nothing. It's a passion for me. It's a passion for me, and I love it. I just love it, man. I can't explain it to you. I'm almost 40, and I'm still a diehard wrestling fan. When I get off of here, I'm going to fix me a plate. I'm going to hop on the PS5 and play 2K24. Okay, I'm going to try to finish up that WrestleMania, the showcase, so I can get DiBiase. I already got, let's see. So far, I unlocked Ricky. I already unlocked Rick Rude, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Andre, Ricky Steamboat, George Yama Steele, Miss Elizabeth. I'm gonna unlock everybody before it's said and done. It's a passion for me. This is a passion for me. Church is a passion for me, and that's what it is. That's why I do the Master of the Mat. That's why I do BCW. That's why I am who I am. I'm a diehard wrestling fan. And that's what this show was supposed to be about, Triple Crown, but I got into something else, but I don't care. It's my show. Who don't like it, unsubscribe from me. I'm just saying, this is just me. And it was just to be I never forget my first show. My first wrestling show was was Cyber Sunday. And to sit there and to hear Randy Orton theme music. to hear Shawn Michaels theme music, to hear Jeff Hardy's theme music, to hear Mr. Kennedy's theme music. It was like, hold on. Trying to find it. Give me 1 second. Yeah. 1 second. When I heard this at my very first wrestling show, I was hyped.
Kennedy!
Man, from that point on, I was a Kennedy fan. Every time he come out, I would always mimic his interest, and he could bring the mic down. Talking about some Helen from Green Bay, Wisconsin, weighing in 200 and something pounds, Mr. Kennedy. And that got me hyped to the point where I became a kid. Every time I heard this theme song, I don't care where I was at, I made sure I was in front of the TV. I never get my back. I'm gonna tell you a story before I get ready to get off here. And Toy is watching. If my mother watching, she may remember this, and if Butch watching, he may remember this. We was living in his house, and we was down. It was the small house around the street from Shoppers. And my father was sitting in the living room watching SmackDown. I just came home from doing something, and he turned on SmackDown, and all I heard was Kennedy theme music, and I hardtailed from the bedroom to the living room to sit there and watch Kennedy. And I think my father did it on purpose because he knew I was a Mr. Kennedy fan. And I don't know if Tori remember that. If you remember that, Tori, let me know, because he did it in the small house and he did it in the big house as well. Because we was in the big house and I was going upstairs and he turned the TV up and all I heard was this.
Mr. Kennedy!
It was
Kennedy!
I dropped everything on the top step, came downstairs and stood right there, and I did the entrance word from word. He was sitting there laughing. He was sitting there laughing. My mother in the room like, what the heck? When he just upstairs? I know somebody remember that. Yeah, I told you remember that. Tori was there. She was in her room cracking up laughing. He blasted the TV. Y'all think I'm lying. Tori was there. He turned the TV all the way up. I was having a rotten day. He knew I was having a rotten day. So he came in and he turned the TV all the way up. And all you heard was this.
Mr. Kennedy!
And I was halfway upstairs. I dropped my bag on the top ram of the steps, came downstairs, and I did Mr. Kennedy's entrance word for word. My father was sitting in his spot, and we know his spot right by the door, sitting in his spot laughing. He's sitting there laughing like it was nothing. All you heard my mother say that day, he was just upstairs. How did he come back downstairs that fast? I'll never know. He was just upstairs. As soon as that entrance was over, I went upstairs. I turned SmackDown on, put it on my own TV. That's how much of a wrestling fan I am. And it's something special for me. And guys like, Kennedy entrance, not just Mr. Kennedy entrance. Before Mr. Kennedy, I'm a huge fan of New Age Outlaws. Hold on. I got to get ready to go. I'm getting hungry, but I'm getting excited as well. All right, I'm a huge New Age Outlaws fan.
You didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
And you talk about somebody who can do Road Dogg's entries better than anybody. I can do it better than anybody. Ain't nobody topping me when it comes to Road Dogg's entries. And it was Road Dogg had a style about the way he did his entries, and I can do it better. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it with the music. Hold on. Do it without the music, and it was Road Dogg would be like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D Generation X proudly brings to you its current 5-time WWF Tag Team Champions of the world, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws, and man, it was just about that. I got in trouble for school doing that in the cafeteria. Okay, I got in trouble for school doing that in the cafeteria. I got in trouble. Matter of fact, I was at church and I got in trouble doing it because I said ass and then out the parking lot. I'm sorry about that, but it was just something about those interests. And when they got fans involved, Kennedy, Road Dogg, it was just that. You see my Uso hoodie. You see my Uso hoodie. The penitentiary. I'm a huge Uso fan. Just a huge wrestling fan. I got a Bloodline shirt. I got a Shawn Michaels shirt. I got an Undertaker shirt. I'm a Paul Heyman guy T-shirt. I'm gonna wear that when they get inducted to the Hall of Fame. I got so many shirts. It's not even funny. That's just I am a die-hard wrestling fan, and that memory with Miss Kennedy is stuck in my heart because it's something that reminds me of my father because I never forget that. I came home from work and I was having a crappy day, and that right there made my whole day. It did. It really did. But let me get out of here. I thank everybody for watching. I thank y'all for the likes. This is the Master of the Map. If you're first time watching, please subscribe. If you're not your first time watching, be prepared for the Master of the Map. This is not a one-time thing. I'm doing whatever my schedule allows me. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for BCW Roadblock. Anybody want to be a part of BCW, let me know in the comment box in the BCW comments just let me know. Until then, y'all have a blessed Monday. Y'all have a blessed Monday. Y'all have a awesome Tuesday, and I'll see y'all again later on. Peace. Hold up, let me leave y'all with something.
Mr. Kennedy! Till it gets real loud. I feel so much better that way. Alright. Well, guess we can mind, cause I know that I can. Gonna see how much I can quit today, yeah. Gonna serve the feel like it just won't quit. Get used to my rock.
I'm gonna do it before I log off. I'm gonna do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hail from DC. I am an 8-time WFCW World Heavyweight Champion, a 3-time current BCW Undisputed Champion. I am the end all be all, the most hated of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Anthony. I'm out.